Okay, we're going to do the last two problems here. Number 8, if an arrow is shot upward at a speed of 50 meters per second, its velocity at any given instant is given by the formula v is equal to 50 minus 10t, in which t represents the time in seconds and v represents its upward velocity in meters per second. Find the velocity of the arrow after 2 seconds, 5 seconds, and 7 seconds. So it's similar to the exercise we did on page 139 and 140, the example, and you simply plug in those values and determine what the velocity is. Now, again, you're going to have to observe what's happening at part B and what's happening at part C. Okay, and if I look, I could see right now that at part B, I would be multiplying t times 5, or excuse me, 10 times t, which would be 5, which would be 50. So if I were to look at my equation here, v is equal to 50 minus 10 times 5, right? So what do we have? Well, we have 50 minus 50, so velocity is equal to 0. So what does that mean? And we know that at 2 seconds, the velocity would have been 50 minus 10 times 2, which would have been 20, which would have been 30. Velocity would have been 30. But at this point, it's at 0. And what happens with c? Well, c, we're going to see v is equal to 50 minus 10 times 7, which means this is going to be 70 now, which 50 minus 70 would yield a negative result, a negative 20. So the question is, what's going on both of these? Well, what's going on here is that when it reaches a velocity of 0, it's basically that the arrow is going all the way up and it has 0 velocity. It's basically reached its peak, its apex, it's stopped moving. You know how you throw something up, it's for a split second there, it just stops and then it starts coming all the way down. So it's not moving, it's not going up or down. It's sort of just reached its peak. And at negative 20, well, again, in relationship to where you shot it up and it's coming back, it's now coming at a negative 20, meaning it's coming back in this direction. So remember, it's relative to that point. Okay, let's just take a quick look at number 9. And we have here the formula for converting temperature in degrees Fahrenheit into Celsius is C is equal to 5 times parentheses F minus 32 n parentheses 9, in which F represents Fahrenheit, or the Fahrenheit temperature, and C represents the Celsius temperature. Use this formula to find the Celsius temperature corresponding to 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 5 degrees Fahrenheit, and negative 40. So here is another problem where you're going to substitute the value for F. You're going to calculate your problem, and you'll be able to give your answer. So we don't really necessarily have to go through these. You can see that it just got to make sure you're handling your negatives properly, that you're adding and subtracting properly, multiplying properly, and that should yield a correct answer if you do those things well.